You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Oh, hey guys.
You worked it in there.
Welcome. We were just in the middle of a game of Viticulture.
Viticulture.
Didn't see you there.
I saw him.
Oh, you saw them?
I saw him.
Oh, I didn't see them. Come on in.
Or pay attention.
Pull up a chair to our table.
Insert cringe.
Yeah. Cheese-worthy.
Is it really that bad?
It was
really
pretty
that
bad.
It's
Yeah, it was
pretty damn bad. I'm sorry.
Pretty bad.
Hello, Bryson. Thanks for saying hi in the chat.
We are the Beans and Dice podcast. This is
A podcast about.
How We Game. I was pointing to you for your name, but yeah, you were looking over your shoulder.
I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm William. They've been drinking.
No, actually, I'm Mountain Dew. I just finished a nasty Mountain Dew. For anybody who doesn't know this, what's it called?
Disgustingness?
Yeah, this
lemon
Spark. It's raspberry lemonade Mountain Dew. Not so good, not so good. My son likes it, but yeah, I've gagged down like 3 of them now, just trying to get rid of them. So
Probably the worst Mountain Dew I had, I think, was watermelon.
yeah, I've tried that one. It wasn't great. I don't think it was my least favorite, but it wasn't great.
My cord is stuck. I can't get the
Don't get your cord stuck.
Oh, my goodness, folks. As you can see, he tried to do something different today, and now he's just all flabbergasted.
Well, he's becoming the king of technical problems, right? I mean, it's like yeah. Although I think his best one was in the tent a couple weeks ago. That was like the best show he's had in a while.
That was probably the smoothest show I've ever done.
Other than poking the camera. you know.
using cell phone service in a tent.
Yeah, all remote. But
All right, phone line is open. There we go.
So a weird start to the show. Hopefully,
So,
everybody's hanging
what
with
are
us.
we here for today?
Well, today we're talking viticulture.
There we go.
Today's show is brought to you by
Viticulture.
Essential Edition.
Jamie
And
Stonemeyer.
the letter S. M. Stonemeyer Games.
Stonemeyer Games. Yeah,
I definitely should have stayed home.
The cringe is strong today, Willie.
It's so bad.
So how'd you come up with this topic? What made you jump on the old viticulture? Oh, he's
I have to discard cards at the end of
We're in the
this.
middle of a game, so I
Yeah.
apologize. But
What brought me here today?
yeah, what was the
Jamie
impetus?
Stegmeyer, Stonemeyer Games, sent us a copy of Essentials Edition.
Essentials Edition? Yeah.
And part of that commitment includes, at least providing a review of content. So I needed to get to the table. So number one, I got it to the table.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I played the regular edition. Well, I guess you wouldn't call it Tuscany was the only one.
Tuscany.
That's the only edition I've ever played.
Yeah.
We got some chatter here. Wayne in the chat says hi.
Hi, Wayne.
Rob, can you see the chat?
I see
cannot.
nothing. I see our faces.
I'm not sure where I'm seeing it. but
There
no,
it is,
I'm not
over
seeing
here
it.
in the corner.
Oh, yeah, over there.
Okay.
Oh, I have to lean forward. Okay.
So Wayne says hi.
New thing.
Mitchell says howdy.
Hi, Mitchell.
Mr. Jeeves says not drinking wine with the game.
Oh, I am not a wine drinker. I'm anti-wine. But
Wow, I would not say I'm anti-wine.
yeah, I've tried, and I cannot find one that
He's
I like.
not cultured enough to
Nope.
drink wine.
Nope. Give me a beer. Yeah.
We got a call coming in. Beans and Dice
I
podcast.
hear
State
it.
your name and where you're calling from.
Mitchell.
Mitchell from Louisiana. That's
Hey,
right.
Mitchell. How are you?
How do you have to look
I'm
anymore?
good. After last week, man, whenever I almost didn't get my call in because I hesitated,
Last second.
like Wayne was saying in the chat, I can't let that happen again.
Yeah.
Plus,
Good man.
Might as well get it
I
out
have
of the
some
way.
very strong topics about things
opinions.
to say about the topic tonight. Is what I mean.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And how you almost lost a game to this because someone found a broken way to do it.
Well, that I think is really cool. But actually, it's about the fact that Carlos thinks that the base game is better than the
Oh, yeah.
Tuscany version.
We
which
had
is
that discussion
way
before we went
better.
on the air, which is, I mean, 4 seasons versus 2.5.
As soon as I walked in, so they were basically playing for me until I got here, which is why I'm behind in points.
Oh, yeah. That's what-
We set you up good, bro. You
Yeah.
came in, you
And
had
that's
wine.
right.
Start.
And I took it and ran.
You had a strong first round.
But
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what are we doing? I'm so confused because I've never played anything but the full version.
yeah.
I don't like it like this.
Yeah.
I 100% disagree with all of you. You, Mitch, William,
But
Robert.
You're wrong.
I'm finding that
So let me-
this
let me-
is not the base edition, so let's not call it that. This is the essential edition. It is the middle of the pack. Second edition is base, and it's very light. This is not the base.
But the second edition doesn't exist anymore, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's out of print. You can only either get Viticulture Essential Edition or Tuscany.
Which means this
anymore,
is considered the base edition.
Yeah, this is now the base edition,
Correct.
I guess. Yeah, this is the entry-level edition now.
Thank you, Mitchell.
This is one of those expansions that, in my opinion, you never play without. It completely changes the game. So for people who don't know, Viticulture, you're making wine, and it's a worker placement game where you're placing in 4 different seasons. So you have to preserve your workers throughout every season. So, sorry, I said it's 4 seasons because that's natural, and that's what it's like in Tuscany. In Viticulture, it's 2 seasons.
There are 4
Carlos
seasons.
will argue
Here.
that there's 4 seasons in this one.
There are 4 seasons here.
There's 2 seasons you do practically nothing.
But it's like play in this season, and then for this season, draw a card. That's not the same thing.
Right,
Sorry. So what I like most about Viticulture is having to plan out basically my entire year at the beginning of the game to know, okay, I need to do this and that's in that season, so I have to wait. I've literally only played the base, just Viticulture, without Tuscany the first time I played. I could not imagine going back to that now because it's just a completely different experience. I feel like it's just vanilla worker placement without that. And Carlos thinks apparently it's too heavy whenever you add in
too much
2
going
extra seasons.
on. Yeah.
But I don't know. It sounds like Carlos is it by himself.
He is. It's so
well,
funny.
I was going to make that comment at the end that I think it's pretty definitive on the BGG that the newer version is the way to go.
I disagree partly because this one has been cultivated. This one has been
God, would you stop with the
grown
puns?
from the
I'm
grapes,
trying.
from the ground.
I'm trying here, right? It's not too much going on here. I mean, did you know, Mitch, that this edition, the Essentials edition, Uwe himself, the man, Patchwork Rosenberg, Uwe
Rosenberg? Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Okay.
Is it the W is a
It's more like a V.
Is it like a V?
Yeah, German.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uwe Rosenberg selected which Tuscany expansions would go in the Essentials edition. So it's like without all the extra, without all the fluff, this is how I think, and he's right, how just right. Not too much, not too little, just right.
It's not a bowl of porridge. It's like playing Terraforming Mars.
Hey, listen, Papa Bear, you can call me Goldilocks all you want. I am right here.
Yeah. All right. Well, it fits a niche for some people, but yeah, it was weird, as you said, Mitchell, when I came over and looked at the board, I was like, oh, this is like 2 seasons here. And Carlos immediately said, no, this is 4 seasons still. It's just a little different. Like, oh, okay. Well, you're only doing 2 stages, and then, like you said, you're drawing a card, and then the end of the year, all you're doing is just kind of resetting everything. So yeah.
Right. So it's kind of weird the process of this game went through. You know, they came out with Viticulture, then they came out with a bunch of like mini expansions and Tuscany.
Yeah.
And then it's like they put all of that out of print, and the ones they liked, they split up between Viticulture and Tuscany, but there were some that never got put into either Essential Edition.
Yeah.
Like there's one that you can get from a third-party printer called Formaggio and Arboriculture, where you're planting trees and making cheese.
Everybody loves
I would
that
agree.
one.
That one kind of jumps the shark a little bit. I have fun doing it,
Yeah.
but I can see how that's a little bit too much. But the least I can ask for is 4 seasons. So sorry,
Yeah.
Carlos.
I haven't tried the cheese. I keep hearing it referred to as the Cheesemakers expansion, but I have not tried that one yet. But I'd like to. I'd like to see what that one's like, because that gets a lot of press. I don't know if it's just because it's so rare. I think people just like it because it's so hard to get. But I heard that when Jamie does the additional expansion that's he's announced, but he hasn't given any details on yet, that he's talking about reprinting that cheese part of it and putting that out there again for retail.
So, Mitch, your answer here on your feedback for Viticulture is the Tuscany all the way in is the only way to play this.
Yes, 100%.
I gotta admit, I did like the special workers. I don't know what they called them.
Special workers?
Okay.
I would just call them special workers. Yeah.
I liked how they had the random cards, so you can randomize what each one did each game. That adds variety.
There were like 6 of them, and you could only get 2 of them. You randomly at the beginning choose what two of the 6 or 2 of the 8 is it?
Yep, and there's like one guy with a belt and one guy with a briefcase.
More than 6.
Okay.
I think there's more than 6. There's a lot, but
Okay.
some of them are really like they really change the game, and some of them are like meh. So it depends on which ones come out. That's kind of the whole point of something being modular. It
Sure.
changes the feel each time. You know.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is for the stage I'm in, Mitch. I'm just getting into playing it. Like I don't need the full game, all of those options. I'm trying to grok this. I'm trying to figure this out on its own. And there's a lot here to figure out just on the base game.
I think it's a pretty
So
simple
you're
game.
saying if it's longer, you'll fall asleep again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done that at least once playing this game.
Yes, he has,
yes.
actually.
It was
Right in front of me.
It was Dice Tower at about 1:00 in the morning, so I'll give him a little slack for that. But yeah, he was
He's like,
he was almost face
is it
down on
my
the board.
turn?
Yeah,
I was like, yes, it's been your turn for 15 minutes.
almost wrecked us. Yeah.
Thanks, Mitch, for bringing that
Now, I
up.
will say you guys yeah, of course, I always will. You guys are playing at an ideal player count, in my opinion, because at 3, you open a second set of spaces.
Yep.
And you do at 5 as well, but 5 is a lot. So 3 is the sweet spot for me. So
Yeah,
keeping on with that.
I had to hit on that because we were talking about that before we started tonight about Dice Tower when we played a full 6-player with pretty much all the expansions, and then Tom Vassell walked by and said we were joking around. I think Nick said, "Hey, there's room for a 7th if you want to get in," and Tom said, "No more than 3 ever, ever, ever." So then he walked away with a smile on his face. So yeah, that's I think I'm getting that feeling. I've only played this about 4 or 5 times now, but I am feeling that 5 or 6 players is definitely too much. I'd say 3 or 4 would be the most I'd play with.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Well, I know the people are going to be knocking down your doors. Wayne said he wants to call, so I'm going to let you guys go.
Free up that line, that one
Wow.
phone line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get off the phone, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch. We'll talk to you later.
Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, I'll see you guys after the show for BGA, right?
You got
We'll
it.
do it.
Board Game Arena.
Yep.
Yeah, man, you guys was up too late for me.
All right, folks. Phone lines open. 813-618-7099 is that number. Let's go through some of these. So, of course, originally it was Mr. Jeeves that started off not drinking wine with the game, right?
Yep.
And then Wayne Kruger had to pop in with, you have to drink wine with Viti.
Yeah, I would agree, but I am not doing that because I have to work tomorrow.
You might get drug tested in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Wayne did call it. He said Mitchell should go first since he almost didn't make it last week.
Yeah, and this is one of his top games, so that fits. But we've got another caller.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name and where you're calling from.
Hello and happy Thursday, gentlemen. This is Nick Obin.
Mr.
from
Obin.
Chapel, Florida.
How are you?
Oh, he's back.
I'm well.
Good.
Yes, it's Thursday, so I'm actually just
Throwing some axes.
ran out of the axe. Yeah, ran out of the axe throwing club just so I can catch the show.
Awesome.
I just want to make sure that we did cover Carlos falling asleep
Oh, yeah.
while playing.
No doubt.
Yeah, because Nick was there.
That's going to come up multiple times. Yeah.
He's like, hey,
Nick, I gotta know.
Live?
Almost face planted.
Nick, what was the edition that we played that day?
Yeah, so actually I was gonna say that was your first play of it. I brought my copy. It was the Viticulture Essential.
Essentials edition.
Is that the one that I got the
Same
Yeah,
edition.
Essential.
something spilled in that one, didn't it?
Yes, Robert.
Robert, yes.
No,
it's-
it wasn't me. It was
Yes.
it was my son.
It was a
was
Rob.
his son, yeah.
It was a Robert.
Although-
Yes, it was.
although-
Yeah, it was my son, Robert. Arby. Yep.
Yeah,
And there was no
yeah,
dice
and
involved.
It was fine. There was no dice, but no, it was fine. It was just water, and it hit like one card, and we just tried it off. It was
But didn't
fine.
you
Actually, it
have
was
some expansions on that one?
Yeah, he did.
I think. I mean, I had the Essentials box. I might have had other stuff, but it was several. I think it was several players' first time, so we just did
Thought
the
it was just the
Essentials
base.
play, and it was.
Yeah.
It was
But there was 4 seasons,
it-
like
and it
4
wasn't-
legit seasons.
No.
No.
If
it
he's
was
saying
this,
it was
this
this,
version. It was only 2.
Sure it was
I
this?
remember being more complex.
And you fell asleep
No,
to this?
No, it was this. This was what we played.
Listen, I have sleeping issues. All right, Nick, we're back to you. Talk to us. So here's the deal. I'm putting together my video for my review of my plays, and I want to really include some conversations from the folks at home about what they love or don't like about it, right? So talk to me about your points on viticulture. Why have it? Why not? Go.
So I love and it's probably been brought up, or if not, it'll be brought up again. So it's worker placement, but worker placement with the seasons where you have to decide when to use your workers.
Right.
Is that twist that is really, really smart. It's really great. And then I love that then there are cards you can get that break that rule, right? Like that's the mainstay of the twist of the worker placement mechanic here is you have to decide when to use your workers, but then you get those cards where it's like, oh, you can retrieve a worker from the first season and play it again, or move your worker at the end of the current season, move it right now to another spot in the future season. And those cards breaking that just lean into that part of the mechanic, which is by far then my favorite part, deciding what do I need to do this year, right? And how do I plan out this year across the season, knowing that I can't do everything. Like a classic worker placement game, it embraces that. You're not going to be able to go to all the spots you want, but you need to make sure that you plan it so you can go to all the spots you need, right, at that timing. So that's my favorite thing. I don't know of another worker placement game that does that as well, where there's some spots on the board that you don't have access to until everyone has decided in their own right that they happen to be done with the current phase. That's the key there. There may even be ones, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there may be other games where you play some areas of the board and then you play other areas of the board and whatnot. Maybe Everdell does it a little bit, right, where you decide when you are done before you're going to rest or whatever, go into the next year. Right. But Viticulture does it great. Viticulture just does it so well.
And I got to think Tuscany ramps that up a bit, because Tuscany now, again, you've got the extra season on the board. And so now you're making that decision in the Essentials Edition. You just have the two areas. You have, what is it, summer and winter. But and then Tuscany is, I think it's, what is it, summer, winter, and then fall.
And spring is still the selection of the turn order.
Right.
But from what I remember, the selection had more options. So it was more meat.
Right. It was, I think, some balancing that was done on that new board, but that does that. But again, you talk about the card play and being able to move between the seasons, or do different things, pull workers and put them down again. Again, I think all that gets ramped up a bit in Tuscany, because now, like I say, you've got the 3 seasons you're trying to play on the board. You're trying to allocate workers to, and I think a lot of those cards are even more powerful when you're doing it times 3 instead of in just 2 seasons. So
right. And then you mentioned the special workers, which further leans into it, because now I got to figure out, when do I play the worker, what spot, and, oh, by the way, what worker do I play in this spot? Because if I've got the worker, that reaps more income if other people go, then I need to figure out where do other people want to go so I can get the benefit, or whatever special workers you're playing with. So that's good.
Right.
I will say then, I've got an Econ, and my con is the most boring one around, I think. But it's because I love the mechanics so much. This idea of a worker placement game that's got indeterminate length phases that really matters, all that stuff we just talked about. Here comes the ho-hum con of, it's about winemaking.
Oh,
and it's
the team doesn't do it for you?
Okay. It's like, okay. And I'm not normally that guy. I'm not. Like you guys know, actually, I like it. And the first 4, 5, 6 times I played Viticulture, I liked it. I thought it was neat. Like, you had to build the right trellis for the right grapes. You got to respect the red and the white and the wine ages, and you have to have a big enough cellar. It's all done well.
Sure.
But after half a dozen plays, I just don't care about wine anymore. Right? And it's whereas some other themes, I feel like I can go back a dozen times. Space combat is always kind of cool for me. And this is just me. This is obviously my opinion.
Dinosaurs.
But I mean, dinosaurs, right? Beer, pirate stuff. To me, Viticulture. To me, Viticulture is actually the game I would like to see rebranded, maybe the most of anything, because it's this amazing worker placement mechanic that's done better probably than any other round-based worker placement game like that. I just don't want to make any more wine.
Interesting. Yeah.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, I didn't. That's not something I never really thought. I
didn't think anybody would say that.
But it's kind of elegant. It's kind of pretty. The art is the wine country.
Why can't this be about like a blacksmith?
Yeah, it's just not doing it for you though, huh?
Not anymore. Again, I think it was done very cleverly. And here's the thing: because of the strength of the game, I will play it over and over again. But I can tell you now, when I play it, I see white orbs and red orbs.
Hey, welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
I see money. I see money on a contract. I see purple cards and green cards. Like none of it. The theme, it's well done theme. I just don't care anymore. And in the end, anymore, I wanted to make sure listeners at home don't think Nick is not a theme guy. The anymore is
That's
the key
what you
part.
just sounded like.
I like thematic games. This one after half a dozen plays no longer does it for me. Okay. And I would be super excited. Imagine a world where you got worker placement and you're like going out, I don't know, you're capturing bandits on a highway and you're throwing them in your jail. And the longer they stay in your jail, right? Aging wine. The longer they seem to drink, the more
The more they
information
shank
give you.
themselves. What are we doing here?
Wow.
Right.
Why'd
but
you go
it
so
could-
dark?
But I'm thinking, I wanted to pick something that was very different.
Hey, Jamie,
from
if you're
wine.
watching,
I'm saying-
I mean, Nick's got ideas for you, bro.
Give him a call. His number. Yeah.
There you go.
Nick, I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the positive and the con. I thank you. It's tough for people to come up with a con
Yeah.
for such a beloved game like this.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it from you, Nick, but I appreciate it.
Very good, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You guys have a great night.
You too.
Thanks for calling.
Oh, I don't even see myself there. Look at that.
Yeah, as I said, when you lean back, you completely.
Yeah,
disappear.
I
I was going to tell you on the camera. You
When
might
we
wanna
set
switch
up the
it around.
camera,
Yeah.
William, you were sitting up, and then all of a sudden you just kind of slowly leaned back farther and farther away.
Oh, Ryder.
Like look at that's a
No,
camera.
That's the camera for him. He's not even in that one.
Yeah, low
All right. Let's get back to some of the comments that Nick had there.
Refocus some cameras.
I am not with Nick. Well, I'd have to
I'm-
get up
I'm
and move
fine.
cameras.
I'm
I can do
good.
that when you're talking, but yeah.
I'll just be the ghost back here in the background. Here you go.
You're welcome to move the cameras, William.
right here.
You're the closest one to it.
Yeah.
Phone line's open, 813-618-7099 is the number. Give us a ring. Talk to us about viticulture. But just to comment on some of what Nick said there, Nick talked about the theme, and I just wholly disagree with him. I have enough. You said, why not blacksmithing, right? I have enough, like, medieval fantasy, space, ninjas. Well, I mean, you can never have enough cowboys. Like, we can do cowboys.
Yeah, we can do the West.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough good Western games, themed games. This takes me out of that. Like this, I'm currently in this mode where I'm looking for games that aren't space theme Western.
That's what I was saying. This
cowboy.
one is elegant. This one has artwork that you don't see in other games. The countryside. Yep.
Yeah, all
come
stuff
in.
that he says he don't like.
Beans and Dice podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, Wayne from Tampa. How's it going?
Hey, Wayne.
Hello, Wayne.
How are you?
How you guys doing tonight? Good. This is a good topic because this is like one of my most played games probably.
Ah, awesome. So we got, we got a
Wait.
professional
Which
weighing in.
version?
There's a debate
Well,
going on
so
here.
I bought. Yeah, so Tuscany definitely, but
Definitely.
mine's kind of a hybrid though because I have the Viticulture Essential Edition that I maybe bought in 2017ish. And then in 2019, I was walking through Dragon Con, and in the dealer room, I found an unopened copy of the original Tuscany edition from like 2015 for sale.
Wow.
So I picked that up. So I have kind of a hybridization of the newer Essential Edition of the Viticulture with all of the old original stuff from the first Tuscany. So we use the Tuscany board and all those cool, expansions, the special workers and Mama's Papas. I have the cheese expansion that everyone was talking about,
Nice.
the one you can't get and all those, things like that. So we prefer the Four Seasons and using the bigger board and the little, I don't know what it's called. I can't think off the top of my head, but the little stars where you can control regions of Italy in the bottom corner.
Yep.
Yeah, and we like the special workers. But it's one of my group's most played games because I think, you guys have seen pictures. Our group is it's kind of 50-50 split between men and women. And a lot of some of the women are not necessarily the old school gamers where they want dungeon crawls and or blacksmiths. I like blacksmiths, but not everyone does.
Right.
So the wine theme hits well because we have a lot of wine drinkers in our group and they like the idea of making wine and
Brings in a whole
playing
new
with
audience.
that concept.
Yeah.
Whole new audience, and it drags in the theme, and we can go from Lords of Waterdeep to Viticulture. So we have our D&D hit where we're playing in in Waterdeep, and then we go play a Viticulture and we make wine.
Good point.
So it hits well, and so we kind of switch that up, and then you could go Pan Am after that, and those things. But so I like the theme. I like the theme of this game because it's different. We talk about the Grande worker. That's phenomenal.
Diego posted that. Diego posted that in the comments.
One spot.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest part of this game that I love is like every game I play with some of our game group, we all kind of think alike, and we're all like that's my spot. And always right before I go, the person to my right will take that spot.
Yeah.
But now I can go, I missed that spot, but here's my Grande worker.
I was wondering how
That's
long
the
it was
best
going
part.
to take us
love-
to get to that because a lot of games use either that exact concept or a similar concept now. But this game is widely, I think, credited with being the first one to allow that Grande worker,
Was it?
allowing you to go
thought it
somewhere
was an
where
older
someone else
game.
has already been.
No, I think this was the first.
This was it. Everybody crown
I
and
think
stick
this
man.
was one of the first
Yeah.
ones, one of the first big ones to do it. The Grande.
But I don't think it
worker, which is
originally came in the
fantastic.
game. I think this was something that was added later.
I don't think it was in the very first original
that's
edition.
what I'm saying.
Right?
Not the
know
very
if it was
first.
or not.
The second printing, it was in there. The Essentials edition.
Right.
So the original one, maybe in 2014, it wasn't, but then by 2015, 16, it was.
Yep.
But I love the game. we played a lot, and it's a game that hits the table a lot, and so in the realm of I love the game and we played a lot and we love the Mamas and Papas. That's like I always think of like Mamas and Papas expansion.
Oh yeah, that expansion
is
too.
kind of like in Terraforming Mars, that prelude in Terraforming Mars.
Kickstart.
That's how I see it. The prelude
Kickstarts your economy.
It gets you started faster,
Right.
And so basically love everything about the game. And I like Nick was saying, you have to kind of give a negative, right? So my biggest negative of the game is in all the plays that we've had some players didn't shoot the moon like the one guy you were talking about said never make wine, right? And win the game by never making wine. But there have been a decent amount of games where someone has won with producing the least amount of wine. So they played the card game, they played all the avenues of gaining victory points without producing wine and still won. That happens a little more frequently than I would probably like, as far as the overall plays of the game. But it's not like it is very hard. It would be very hard to win on a consistent basis by producing no wine. But I have had people that concentrate on making either, they don't buy a lot of the upgrades, they don't spend their money on upgrades, they do basic grapes, basic wine, and just produce the little bit of wine, and then concentrate on playing card after card and just go card heavy. And every worker placement is for more cards.
I don't look at it that way. I look at it as this: you are in the wine business, and you are the best business person. So you don't have to make a whole bunch of wine. You just make the wine you need to make the most money, which is profit, which I would say is the points.
Right, because Disney has options for birthday. Disney has options for birthday parties, right? And they make some of the best birthday parties ever. But you know who really makes money? Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Yeah, you're right.
There you go.
That mouse, he sells. That rat, he sells.
Entertainment business, yeah.
So I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, if you can open a vineyard and like not actually produce one grape. If I could open a vineyard, not produce one grape, and become rich, I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
So, you created an attraction.
Yes, exactly.
A venue.
And that's a good way to think of it. Like I probably never thought of it that way, because I'm looking at your vineyard card, and it's like, all right, if I could turn in the vineyard card and become just a wine cellar, or a wine, whatever, then that's a good way to look at it. But I guess, if the purpose of the game, and you have all of the components in the game to make wine, and you don't end up making a lot of wine, that sort of takes away. But again, like I said, that's a nitpick, or a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the one negative I have, that I've seen some people who didn't really make a lot of wine win the game anyway just by playing a ton of cards. But like you said, Diego, it's a good way. It's a good way of saying it. It's a good way of looking at it.
Or it could be the opposite, right? Because you're over here producing a ton of wine, right? You're like making bottles of $5 Chuck, right? The cheap wine that you find at the bottom shelf at the ABC Liquor, right? Whereas that other player spent time getting cards, and what do cards represent? Visitors, right? Visitors are who? Horticulturalists, right? Peddlers, even tasters, right? People, bottlers, people who help produce a higher quality wine. So maybe that player didn't produce a lot of wine, but the wine that they did produce, using those folks, got him the most.
Yeah. Well, I see what you're saying, though. I mean, I appreciate a game that gives you multiple avenues to victory, but I do see what you're saying. That, I mean, in a game supposedly about making wine, it does. I can see how it feels like it detracts a little when different people are not playing that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a nitpick, but because the game in general, I love it, if Viticulture, you don't like the theme of wine, then you play it 5 or 6 times, you move on to a different game, and you come back to this later. It's like, I think, we have so many games that are dungeons and, and Vikings and undead or whatever, that how many wines about Vignos, Viticulture, and now the new Dompierre, right? That's the only 3 games I can think of that are about winemaking. And then there's Brew Crafters, which is a really good worker placement game about making beer. But that's it. It's really you can think of. So it's like I like that. I do appreciate. That so I just appreciate the fact that it's a different theme and it holds up. But I also, speaking about player count, I wouldn't play this more than 4 people.
I was going to ask you, if you agreed with that. Yeah,
3 to 4. Yeah, we've played once with like 5 or 6, and it was like, nah, it's just it drags a little too long.
Yeah.
Because it's not, the theme is there, right? It's a theme, but it's not like a diverse theme. It's a very straightforward theme. So when the game drags longer than it should, that theme can wear thin.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 or 4 is where we usually typically try to stay with it.
No, those are all great points, man.
Yeah, it's a great game. I love it. But I also, I agree. Carlos, I think if you're first learning the game, playing the Viticulture Essential, probably not bad. If you have a new gamer, Viticulture Essential is a good way to start because the Tuscany and the Essentials and all the add-ons and different stuff, that's a level of complexity that a new gamer can't go. So I think both games certainly have a place in the market.
Sure. Yeah.
But for those of us that have been around a while, I can't see why we would want to play. I can see we want to play the Essentials
For
edition.
someone who's got as much board games as he has behind
I'm
his
going to
back.
take that one off the call. I'm going to take that one off the phone.
I'm not going to put that on the
I'm
recording.
going to answer that off the phone. Thank you, Wayne. And it was cool to find out you're really not that far from us. So you have an open invite to Studio B as in Bean.
Bean?
There's a spot right over there where I can keep
MPC.
you just off camera like I do with William.
Yeah. The disembodied voice over there. Yeah.
And have you actually join us for some gaming and conversation.
But I can throw obscenities at you and it's not on camera.
There you go.
Okay.
Have a good night, Wayne.
Thanks for calling.
There you go. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
That was Wayne Kruger of Lutz, Florida.
Yeah,
right,
just
right
out-
here,
just right around the
right up the
corner.
road,
Yeah.
like right next to my son's ball field where they play baseball. I like just finding these things out.
Sports ball.
I did want to answer his comment. I'm also not a player who enjoys games expansions. Like I'm not big on expansions in games. Like I've been actually been not buying them because I don't tend to play them. I don't tend to add them. Like I feel like because I'm always at the point where I'm teaching people the game. Adding the expansions makes things harder. I said that before. I feel like this level of essentials, the essentials level, is just good enough. It is a good, solid meal.
An expansion that adds more mechanics and more choices. I see what you're saying. I mean, there are expansions that just add more of what it is, and in those
I like.
Yeah, those are right.
Those are my favorite.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So
See, Tuscany though adds a bunch of new mechanisms,
new mechanics, mechanisms,
new complexities, new difficulties, and I think this right here, I'm not going to eat this bowl of pasta every week.
Yeah.
Right. But if I play a game 6 times in a year, you probably got a good game.
As far as a little taste,
Right,
yeah.
because we play so many different games all year
for
long.
sure.
To play the same title more than 5 times, you've got a good title.
But just for that reason is why I want everything. When I play this the couple times a year, I'd like to play with more than less.
Same thing with Terraform Mars, man.
Yeah.
You got to play with.
I haven't done the expansions. I've done Prelude,
We played Venus
And
next.
that's it.
one of the different boards,
Yeah.
once,
We
That's
played
it.
Venus.
and I have them all. I own them all. I just haven't done it.
It's a big difference.
Call coming in.
Beans and Dice podcast. State your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Aaron calling from Columbus, Ohio.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
Aaron from Ohio. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. It's been a while since I've called. Had quite a few life moments. In January 1st, my wife and I welcomed our first child into the world. So
Congratulations.
yeah, busy time.
Carlos is
Busy
looking for the
time,
button over
but,
there.
Oh, which one? Oh, boy.
There we go. He found it.
You should have said achievement unlocked.
He found a button, but yeah, awesome. That's awesome. A little boy or a little girl?
boy.
Okay.
What is he? Over 5 weeks old now, so
Awesome.
time flies.
I always say
So he must be tired.
yeah, he's just tired.
Tired guy. Yeah.
I always say it takes a man to make a boy because I had 3 sons first, so I always said that.
Now you got a girl, but yeah.
Yeah, we just had our girl in July, so I'm right ahead of you. She's 6 months,
Congratulations.
and
Yes.
I am exhausted still.
Yeah. So it doesn't wear off after 5 weeks? No?
No, bro,
Oh, okay.
she's still not sleeping great. So, Aaron,
Yeah.
it's not going to get any better anytime soon. I'm sorry to tell you, son.
Yeah, less board games getting played. I get my wife to play a few more, but
Yeah.
at least I've got the show to call into once in a while.
Yeah.
Awesome. We appreciate that.
Well, we're talking viticulture tonight, and this is not a game. This is a game that's been out since 2013-ish,
Yeah, something
right?
like that. Yeah.
Any thoughts on viticulture? No recent plays necessary because it's been around for a while.
Yeah, no, I think I probably played it, man, I don't know, six months ago or so. But I played 4 or 5 times. I'm a huge fan. I like it. I liked it enough the first time I played it. I think I was more curious and kind of wanted to give it another try. And it's made it to the game night a few times. And so I have 4 or 5 plays. One of those might have been with Tuscany, but I don't have a real good memory of what that plays like. And I don't know, Carlos, I think I'm a little more aligned with you. I think
Call
I
ended.
think it plays great. Yeah, I think it plays great with Essentials Edition. I don't think at least from what I remember, I don't think the Tuscany is necessary. I own Viticulture.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah,
agrees, dear diary.
Great game.
Agreed
Aaron
with Carlos.
agrees
Yeah.
with Carlos.
Yeah, you got to have somebody on your side. It can't be
Yeah.
all anti-Carlos. So, but you would know Tuscany. Tuscany's got a longer board. It's more of a the
Rectangle.
trifold. Yeah, the long triangle. Yeah, rectangle.
But you heard Aaron just say it, right? Aaron, you just said it. I don't remember whose we played with. You're not the first person to say that, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
whenever I ask somebody about their experience with viticulture, they can't remember what expansions
And
they played
we
with.
haven't touched on it too much, but there are literally, I think, 6 or 7 different versions of this game through time. Although they've stopped making some of them.
It is the most confusing product on the market.
That's what I'm saying. Essentials. If everyone just plays essentials, it's easy to say.
Everybody just play essentials. Make it easy for all of us. We don't have to remember multiple names.
Jamie just burned the stock of all the Tuscany. Just burn it all.
Yeah, no Tuscany. Yeah, just essentials.
All right, so Aaron agrees with me. Essentials is the best
You
version.
keep writing that down.
What
Why
else
do
you
keep
got?
writing
He's
that down?
writing it down like
Aaron agrees with
twice.
me. Aaron
What the-
agrees with me.
yeah.
Aaron agrees with me.
Finally, dear diary.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Finally.
Save me.
No, I do believe I played it once, and I would give Tuscany another shot, but I don't have I just don't remember what that winter season was like. I don't know what really I can't remember what it added, so I'd have to take another look.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just think.
I was gonna say, just split some of the stuff out. So some of the stuff they have in 2 seasons, they took a few of those and bumped them to the other seasons, and then they added a 3rd season on the board that has a few more things that are on this board. I don't remember exactly what they are, but it just kind of spreads
Complexity
everything a
for
little thinner.
complexity's sake.
Exactly. Yeah.
Carry on, Aaron.
Wow.
He's got great
and
points. Don't interrupt the man.
I think it's just a really good middleweight worker placement game. It's not too heavy, and I think it's really tight. Like the worker placement spots are really tight.
Yep.
But you have that grande worker where you can always get in if you really need it. And then I think one of the smallest but coolest parts is that wake up or turn order track.
Oh yeah.
That it's such a simple decision, but it is an interesting decision.
Yep.
Each time you make it, because you know that turn order is so important with how tight it is. But then you're also able to get, if you need that coin really bad, you're able to
Why
get
are
it
you
there.
writing
or
so much?
You know the right cards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nobody hit on that yet, but you get to select what reward you want, which is really kind of unique in this. If you go later, you're going to get a better reward. If you want to go earlier in the turn order to make sure you can place that first worker where you really need to go, you may get 0 reward if you take the 1 spot. But as you go further down later in the turn order, you get better and better rewards all the way down to the 6 and 7 spot in the essentials.
Which are the best.
6 gets you just a victory point just for going there, and 7 gets you an extra worker to use for the whole year. So yeah, I mean that's.
I don't
really,
think I've seen you leave in our game that we've been playing today, Robert. I don't think I've seen you leave that bottom 2.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
The
But
6 and
first
7.
2 rounds I was up top, but the last 3 rounds I've been in the bottom. But
Okay.
yeah.
It is Thursday night.
Rob likes to have options and points.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, nobody hit on that yet. So Aaron, that was a good point about the bidding on the turn order. That's definitely a cool part of the game.
Yeah, I think that's and it's pretty unique. You don't see that in a lot of other games. You just pass turn order in, clockwise around the table,
Right.
or there's a predetermined, turn order. So it's a pretty unique thing, and I think it actually ties really well together with how tight and how you use the grande worker and the different phases pretty well. So
Yeah. Very cool. And we just touched on it just a little bit earlier, but you kind of hinted at this a little bit. But another really cool part of the game is that they've got the 3 circles in each of the areas that you can go to. Like in the plant fields area, there's 3 3 circles, and the first circle is only available in 1 to 2 player games. So only one person can go there unless somebody uses their grande to duplicate that action. In a 3 or 4 player game, you open up the second circle, so now there's 2 spots to go, but it also adds a bonus. So like in the plant grapes area, if you take that bonus area, you actually get to plant 2 grape cards, and then at a 5 or 6 player game, it actually opens a 3rd circle, so now you got 3 places to choose from. So you've got that scaling depending on the number of players, which is really important in this.
A lot of good features in this game.
Yeah.
yeah, and that bonus in the higher player counts, that first person to go there gets that bonus. That's such I think a critical part to the game too, because sometimes you're almost relying on not only being able to go to a location, but really hoping you're able to get that bonus ability too. And so when someone goes there, you got to re-strategize and figure out if you can, make the best of it for that round or, the next season, or if it's going to take you a whole nother round to really be able to achieve what you were hoping to do. So, yeah, I think that bonus ability with the higher player counts makes it really cool, too.
Well, we are glad to hear from you again. Glad to hear it was good news that kept you away.
Yeah.
And going to wish you the best. Godspeed with the new baby.
Absolutely.
Go get some rest and then get some gaming in.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
Have a good night, Aaron.
Enjoy Viticulture.
Thanks for calling in.
I was Aaron from Columbus, Ohio.
Yep. Got our Ohio caller in.
He was one of our first out-of-state callers. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
Out-of-state regulars.
Yeah, for regular. I was going to say, we've had a few before, but he was.
And that's how we got introduced to Mark Stang. Was through Aaron.
Yeah, through Ohio. Yep. That was
we sent some Bees and Dice swag up to Aaron.
Our Ohio contact. Yeah, I don't know if we ever asked him if he. I think maybe we did. We made sure he got that. So
Yeah, I remember you guys did.
That's good.
Let's see some of the comments here on the board. Let's see here. Mitchell says, "Yeah, just play Essential Edition, Tuscany Essential Edition." He says,
"Tuscany Essential Edition."
Tuscany is Essential Edition.
It's the only edition.
That's funny.
Yeah, Mitch, thanks. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Let's go through some of the comments here. Yeah. It is
a little behind. We're trying to scan through.
Yep. Diego had talked about it being his favorite. Mitch says it's 4 seasons of worker placement spaces in Tuscany, not 3, as I was saying, so I'm mistaken.
It is 4.
Again, another person is confused because of all the different expansions.
There are different, so many different versions of it.
I guess it happens.
Yeah.
Wayne says Grande Worker is such a great tool and concept in the game. I know Wayne brought it up in the game. I wanted to say about that Grande Worker, it's cool because I see it being a part of the style of Stonemaier design.
Right.
The friendly game, right? The Stonemaier games tend to have that not negative player experiences.
Right. I was getting ready to bring that up. Right? Yeah.
So they give you this Grande Worker to take away that negative feeling from worker placement games. But what I really think it did is gave me this decision point that I fiddle with. Like, here's my Grande Worker, right? And I fiddle with this Grande Worker from the moment we start. Like, when am I going to use this?
Well, especially when you're later in the turn order, because you can only use it once, and by the time it gets to you, even in that first season, the 2 things you may have wanted to do are already gone. But then I have that thing in the second season or the third season or fourth season in Tuscany that I want to do. It's like, do I really, really, really need that one now in the summer, or do I really want to hold this off in case I need it in the winter? And that's just one more decision point. It's like, I might get to the winter and not need it, and then did I waste it because I didn't use it in the summer? So, yeah.
What an elegant design piece.
Yeah, it's one little piece.
Such a simple mechanic when you think about it.
Yeah.
But the impact to the game is huge.
And the whole friendly thing, I mean, we're talking about something you reminded us when we started tonight. They have the friendly variant on the game, which is, we talked about that bonus space in the middle. And for example, like I was talking about it in the planting vine section, or planting grape section, the normal spot allows you to just plant 1 grape card. If you go to the bonus space, you can plant 2 grape cards. But in the friendly variant, in the not so friendly variant, the first player can go there and block it, even if they only want to plant or only can plant 1 grape. But in the friendly variant, it says that if you can't plant 2, then you can't go to that space unless all the other spaces are already full. And so that gives you an option. So it's interesting that they give you that option in the game to go even more friendly and have an even friendlier experience, or give you a little bit of that backstab if you want, and just go there to mess with everybody. And
William, I think it's our first time. Yeah, I see you shanking over there. A little shank motion. Yeah. It's our first time playing the game with the friendly variant. Now, so far, about halfway through the game.
Don't ask him if he likes it, because we already know the answer to that.
I was going to ask William. Why don't you move yourself in the camera?
What do you think I'm going to say?
Move yourself in the camera.
Shake somebody.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Well, come in the camera first.
No. What do you think I'm going to say?
You're no chill, Will.
We're just seeing the arm.
You're dang right.
You're going to shake somebody.
Tell the folks at home.
I can't play this no friendly thing. I'm sorry. I'm just doing it for the podcast. I swear. But I can't. I'm sorry, but a game is essentially a competition.
Meant to be a little evil?
It's essentially a competition.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like saying, hey, I'm going to run on the track, but I'm not going to run my best. So I want you to keep up with me.
I'm going to give you the inside lane.
Yeah. I know. I can't do that. And I can't do that. And the Grande Worker, I like it, but I like games more where it doesn't have that, but it has like maybe something you have to get or earn to do it. Kind of like in Lords of Waterdeep, where you had to play a card that you had to get or spell to allow you to do that. But that's just it, But in this game, it works. But this mechanic doesn't work in every game, though. This game, it works. Yeah. But you can't play that. You can't have a kind of like a Grande Worker in every worker placement game. I don't think you should.
Okay, so it's not going to fit every game. Now, you're right. most games are competition, but I do enjoy a game sometimes for just the leisure and the casual nature of just playing a light, breezy game, right? Without having to shiv each other for a win.
Just being social and hanging out.
Yeah.
Mitch would disagree. But, yeah.
Yes, and Carlos would disagree because his experiences with certain people have not me. Other people have produced
Brian
that.
Zeno? Yeah.
So why are you attacking me in the first turn?
Yeah.
See, in this game, I don't have to worry about it. Right?
Yeah.
At worst, he's going to take a spot that I want to go to.
Grande
And
it.
you got grande.
I will grande it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is nice. This is nice,
Except
chill.
I did it to Rob earlier. I said, he goes, "Oh, you took the 1 coin extra."
Oh,
I was gonna go there. I'm sorry, Rob. I went
it
there
happens.
first.
It happens. You had to shank somebody somewhere.
And that is a little shank when you make somebody use their grande worker so that they can shoot the moon or go for their big thing the big move they were going for, but they have to now use their grande worker.
Yeah.
It hurts. It feels good to make them hurt a little bit.
I know that did.
But
I saw he needed
Stick 'em
it,
a
so I
little
took
bit.
it.
Oh, no.
I didn't need the money. I just took it.
I see in the comments here, Wayne says brew crafters for the beer lovers then.
Yeah, that's it.
And then Vidi for beer lovers, sort of, is what it finishes with.
Sort of, yeah.
Mr. Jeeves says, boo, I love the theme. And Mr. Jeeves is another one that I've seen post pictures of viticulture with wifey.
Get some photos.
In the same way that Wayne Kruger posts pictures of viticulture with wifey and friends.
Yep.
It's a very different group
Can be a
of
different
people
audience,
you can get together around this game.
It's got
The high class gamer.
it's got the most. It's got a really good artwork and table presence.
Don't lose your cup.
Look at the board. The board.
okay.
The game board is.
Listen, y'all.
The game board really doesn't have a lot of iconography on it. It's basically.
And the original edition, the backside had the exact same board with the spaces, but no words.
And
There were it was just art.
And
So,
I
like once
remember
you
that.
know the game,
I
you
haven't
could
seen
just
that.
play without the words, like a beautiful painting.
Interesting.
But I have to be honest.
Oh
and
no! You
it's-
like putting your workers out. It looks like it's on a field.
right? But I gotta be honest, y'all. Like in reality, when I see this artwork here, to me it feels like it's something I'd see like at Olive Garden,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah, a little mural on the
It's not
wall.
Italian.
A little painted canvas. Yeah.
so, like not
Come
great.
to the Italian country.
I'd like the tour of Italy, please,
exactly.
and the fried ravioli.
Leave out the lasagna.
Right, like Americanized, right? Like our envisionment of
Yeah.
what
The
it would
Walmart
be.
of Italy.
But it's not bad. It is not bad.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not gonna say it's like super stellar, but it's not bad.
Yeah. I like the art.
Art's good. Art's good. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Diego says winemaking theme is overdone.
Yeah.
Insert sarcasm.
Sarcasm. Yeah.
I mean, Nick is wrong. Flat out, like Nick is wrong. Like, how can you knock a game for doing something
Yeah.
different than any other game?
I can see it's a little dry.
Oh, like a nice. I see what you did there.
The cheese.
But the cheese makers. That's the expansion. Yeah. No. But anyway, yeah. I mean, it is a little plain. But I don't know. I mean, Jamie, he does this. I mean,
It's beautiful.
I mean, his wingspan obviously wasn't him. That was Elizabeth Hargrove, but through Stonemeyer Games. But I mean, I think he makes an effort to look for things that aren't done 15 times over. I mean, bird watching, making wine. These are themes that aren't overdone. So
Yeah, Wayne Kruger says the theme here hits super well with my group.
yep, certain groups it's going to be really popular.
That's
Mr.
another-
Jeeves
that's another thing,
confirms it.
though.
Set them straight. Wayne, he says.
That's another thing. I don't know if this ever came up discussion. Is this a game you should play with kids? Because it's about making alcohol.
No,
Listen, Linda.
Yeah.
Listen, Linda. In Rome, you know this. You're a history buff like me, too.
Yeah.
The majority of people and children, the majority of what they drank was wine. It was like a bottle a day per person at minimum because it
You mean
was the
they drank-
cleanest thing to drink.
Cleaner
You
than the
mean they
water.
drink Posca?
Right, because it was cleaner than any, like having alcohol back in the day.
Kills all the bad stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess and it took them a while to realize the boiling of it and the mashing and the fermentation and all that
Fermentation, yeah.
helps to kill stuff. Once they figured out that, but no, I would play. I mean, I grew up as an altar boy. I was mixing wine since I was like 10 years old, man. I was back there with the priest, just mixing wine.
Mixing wine. That's what y'all were doing.
Thanks, Robert.
Moving right along. Mitchell says the Grande worker definitely improves the player experience, especially with 4 seasons.
That's what the priest said.
Not having the mulligan is extremely punishing. Someone takes a spot you've been waiting on. But yeah, I mean that's
I
the
can't be here.
the invention of the grande in this was huge. I mean, that like I say, a lot of games use this now.
You know, it's got to be that Tuscany feeling of the 4 different segments that just it's too much planning for me.
Yeah, you really got to plan out the whole, like Mitchell was saying.
And
you got
I
to
don't
think
get
ahead.
it. I really don't get that with you.
Yeah.
Because you can play Clash of Cultures, or you can play like a complicated war game, and your brain is like, "Yeah, I got this. Yeah, I got this. And then you play this. Oh man, I can't get it.
Well, that's
I
more
just
in the
don't get
moment,
it.
though. I think Clash of Cultures and those war games are a
Tactical.
little bit more right.
There is a
It's-
long-term strategy.
right.
It's
This
the
one you
same
got.
concept.
This one you got to look ahead. You got to
It's
really
the same
be
concept.
Yeah.
The long-term strategy of the whole year. It's the same concept.
So I've been playing the Steam version of this online because the board game that Stonemeyer sent me included a coupon inside of it. I guess if you buy this game,
That's
you're going to
what-
get a coupon in there for 25% off.
I did that when I got Wingspan.
the video game. Rob, the way that works is you pick a comment. And then
I
you
know
hit the
click
select
on
button,
Oh, yeah, I
and
can
it
do
shows
that.
it to the
My
folks.
bad,
So you
yeah.
can go ahead and take
I didn't
control of that.
mention-
Bro.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
I
I was scrolling ahead because I just.
I need more technicians here,
Yeah,
folks.
I'm
So,
with it.
Just
Yeah.
pick any ones that agree with
which
us.
I don't know. The reason is I invited Wayne is so I could make him like a technician.
Oh yeah, okay, no, yeah, I'm gonna override all everybody that agrees with Carlos. You're not gonna see your
Wow,
comment
you're
on
gonna
the
shift,
board.
delete those
Yeah,
comments?
Yeah, exactly.
As I was saying, the digital version that I was playing, and I'm playing against hard mode, right? What I found myself with is at the end of multiple rounds in those games, I get to the end and I have these extra workers, and all I'm doing is putting them on the gain a dollar
Yeah.
spot. So that tells me that in each of those rounds, if I ended the 4th and final season with too many workers, I messed up.
Yeah.
Right? Like I left opportunity on the board in the seasons before.
I did that in our last round. I picked up the extra worker by going last, and then I realized, oh, you know what? I really didn't need that extra worker.
Or I
so-
didn't use them well.
Yeah.
Like I could have done something in
Yeah.
a season before and done it better.
I just threw him down there.
So then you add double that. Double the requirement to space that out, and to me it just loses it.
Yeah, you just lost.
Mitchell's talking about breaking the game here. He mentions this sounds like winning Dinosaur Island roar and right without breeding hardly any dinos, which is possible. My buddy has developed a great strategy for building shops and food stands. But again, doesn't that feel broken? You're playing a game about dinosaurs. You wanna make dinosaurs. You want to breed dinosaurs, but somebody's over there building concession stands and is going to win the game.
What's that restaurant that we went to in Orlando when we took the family?
Yeah, I forget.
It was that dinosaur themed one.
Yeah, Dino
I think our family bill was like $200, $300 per family.
Oh, we had the dino experience.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. All we saw were pictures of dinosaurs on the wall.
Some flashing lights.
What? So
occasionally,
what I'm
yeah.
saying is, somebody figured out how to
Yeah.
get people to come spend $400 for a family
Dinos.
to eat around dinosaur themed things without presenting a real dinosaur.
Lame.
So,
Yeah,
Mitch, don't knock the guy.
that's
works,
called
but,
called
yeah, it can
advertising
work,
and
but-
marketing.
That's what it is.
That's how I look at it.
I mean,
It's a strategy.
Dan almost won Clash of Cultures without attacking anyone once. All he did was just
He did win.
yes, you did. He passed his culture out. Dan almost won Viticulture without growing a single vine, right?
Yeah.
Folks, if
He
you
planted
want,
one, I think.
if you want to test your game properly, give it to Dan at Your Turn Cafe. He
Chaos.
He
Yeah.
will find a way to break it
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, like I say, it was a thing, and he admitted to me later that he actually had read about it because I read it right after we got back that there was a strategy for winning without playing any, planting any vines, and he
He
admitted
wanted to see if it worked.
he admitted he
And
saw that too.
and
yeah.
It's like I was like, no, wow, this actually works.
Yeah. Wayne says, yeah, I get that about the expansion. The thing about Tuscany, you can add smaller snippets here and there and love the modular expansions. I mean, and that is a big thing with Tuscany. Almost all of those expansions that Tuscany adds, other than the board itself, the board is what the board is, but all of those, the bonus workers and some of the extra cards and all that kind of stuff is modules that you can put in and out. So I don't think we talked about that really, but you can play with or without them.
I found one game where you've played almost all the expansions.
Say it.
I'm sure there's one, but
Villainous.
Yes.
oh yeah,
yeah,
Villainous.
but that's just more of the same.
It's called
Yeah.
expansions.
it's
That's what is it? What is it? Expansion.
Okay, you win. Congratulations.
Yay!
He wins. Oh, Rob's a winemaker. What is that? That's from Joe Garcia chiming in over there. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I can be a winemaker. I just don't drink it. It's like I say, I've tried.
I think he's a pun.
Me and my wife have both tried. We tried 6 or 7 or 8 or 10, and yeah,
10 different wines?
I just
Oh.
all different kinds. People are like, "Oh, you got to try this. It's fruity. This one's not bitter. This one's not as."
Have you had a port?
I don't know. I've had.
That's
a
that
bunch.
real thick sweet wine.
No.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
dessert wine.
somebody calling.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name and where are you calling from?
This is Master Jeeves from Chicago.
Hey,
Whoa,
Master Jeeves. How are you?
Master Jeeves.
That's my man.
Master G's, Mr. G's, whatever.
They're interchangeable. Yeah.
No, it's official now. It's Master
Master
Jeeves.
Jeeves. Yeah, he explained that story
It's
before.
Master
I
Jeeves.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't have you guys talking about viticulture without me calling in because it's my used to be my top favorite game, but it's my second favorite game. So
Heck
I
yeah.
had to jump in.
What killed it?
Spirit Island.
Oh yeah, I saw you post that. Yeah, I haven't played Spirit Island enough. I played it twice, and I haven't played it in about 2 years. I need to get it back out. It's one of those games, and I think we might have talked.
Out there.
We talked about this before, I think maybe, but if you put that game down for too long, you've got to relearn it because there's a lot going on. But yeah, I need to get that back to the table. But talking about viticulture, what do you like about viticulture? What's your big ups and downs?
First off, I adore worker placement. I think it does worker placement beautifully. But I'm gonna tell Carlos you are wrong.
There we go.
Oh man,
No,
something's wrong with his phone line.
Don't look for the button. Do not. No.
Oh, we lost him. We lost him.
No,
No, he's off. He's
He's still there
Look. He wrote. He wrote 3 words on there. That's it.
in his little book. Yeah. What does it say?
He wrote a whole paragraph
Carlos is
for
wrong.
Aaron.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When I first played Viticulture, I thought it was a great game, and I was like really excited. I bought it. It was one of my first bigger games that I purchased for myself. I'd played some other bigger games. The first one I purchased for myself that was bigger than like a party game or anything like that. And so I was really nervous because I bought it without having played it before. But I was so intrigued by the theme, and I'd played Scythe already, and I'm like, oh, it's the same designer. It's got to be interesting. And I played it, and I was like, this is really good. Like, I really, really like it. I'm glad I got it, but I just feel like something. I don't know. I just kind of was expecting a little bit more. And then when I picked up Tuscany, I was like, that was it. All the buttons just clicked for me. I like the decision space. Now, my wife, who's not a huge gamer, also very much fell in love with the game the more we played it. And she actually loves Tuscany, but she doesn't like the area control section of the board. I don't know if you...
There's a little area. Carlos is looking at me funny.
I remember now. There was a map of Italy, and we were dropping
stars you put down there.
That thing, yeah. That's
And
how I almost caught up.
At the end of the game, but she keeps neglecting that, and then it gets her frustrated because it's a huge decision space. Why does she got to start focusing on this little corner on top of all the other decisions, like where to place your ground? They're working across, 4 seasons and this and that. And then they add in structure cards and stuff, which I like the structure cards a lot. But I kind of agree with her. The area control is kind of an odd. I like it. I get where they're coming from with it, but
and I agree.
I know you guys are just talking.
I agree 100%. Just as a quick note that part of it did feel a little over the top for me. I was like, that was, and again, we've talked about this for me in other games in right behind me. Tapestry. That little personal board you have where you're trying to put the buildings on and play the little separate game over there. I just don't get it. I'd rather not play with that and not worry about that. But but go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, you're fine. The wonderful part about it is, and I think they even recommend it in the rules, I think that's where I read it, was if you don't like it, you can still use it, but don't use it for end-of-game victory points. You can just use it for those little bonuses. Of some extra lira or whatever. My wife likes doing that because it's a quick decision. Like, I just need something. Oh, this area control part will give me that just as a quick little
good
add-on.
idea. I hadn't seen that. Okay, cool.
And that's going to improve that for me because one of the tougher parts here is having the resources and the things you need to be able to do what you want to do. Like finding ways to add that to the game, I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
But then adding other complexity of getting victory points takes away from me. So that's a great answer.
I feel compelled. I have to go play that little side game, even though I really don't want to, because like you say, if you don't, in a lot of games, you just aren't going to be competitive if you're not on that board.
Oh, so like one person does it, everyone's got to do it. That's the
right. Once somebody goes there, I feel like I have to go there, or I'm not. I'm going to be behind on points.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like this pressure thing. You're like, I don't want to deal with this little area control section. I want to focus on the winemaking and stuff. And I get from a business standpoint, you're spreading your wines to different areas and stuff. And thematically, I guess I see where he comes from. But
sure.
It's not my favorite part. I do like what Tuscany does to the wake up chart, and I think it improves it a lot. And I think that's a huge thing. I think that was one of my big selling factors. I like the extra season, and I like the wake up chart, and that was like, okay, that's exactly where this game is really kind of firing off for me.
Yeah.
And then Visit from the Rhine Valley expansion actually just kind of like just sweetened it even more because I think I don't know if you guys have heard, but it basically improves it so that there's a little bit more focus on the winemaking as opposed to with the visitors.
Yeah, we haven't played
it kind
that
of
one.
brings the focus back a little bit. It's fantastic.
Almost
And
what Wayne was talking about. His con to the game was the ability to not focus on winemaking and
Right.
still win.
Yeah.
exactly. It draws that back through subtle like visitor, card abilities and stuff, and I actually don't even take the visit from the Rhine Valley visitors out of my game. I just leave them in.
Yeah.
I'm willing to play the other ones, but it's like I found my sweet spot for the game.
What is Visit of the Rhine Valley? What does it add component-wise that makes people focus?
You're literally replacing the summer and winter visitors. That's it. It's just 2 little decks of cards replacing the summer and winter visitors.
That's simple.
Yeah.
Hey, pick that comment.
And it's just a variation on those visitors, just to kind of change the game up. So.
Yeah, he's right.
All right, William's he's jumping over to the chat. Sorry for that, but there was a chat. Wayne Kruger says, I think William needs a Beans and Dice shirt.
I
So,
had a squirrel moment.
Yep.
Yeah, William's been saying that for a while. We have to do an order. I was thinking of, and this might, Kyle, you understand. I went with the baseball jerseys, right, to go with the first time around. But I'm thinking the next time we order shirts, we go hockey. We do the hockey long sleeve shirts.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
My only concern is long sleeve shirts and
Florida.
board games.
In Florida.
Board games.
Yeah, board games. In
Right,
Florida.
because that sleeve kind of hangs. So like reach over to grab a meeple, I'll knock over like 5 more. Like,
Oh, or drinks.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Those are
All
some
right,
good
so,
points. Yeah.
Kyle, you hit off a lot of positives. You did. Your wife gave a con.
It's number 2 game of all time, and you're going to try to make him pick a negative? Really?
I mean, Jamie asks for it every time. Every
All
time
right.
Jamie's called into the
All
show,
right.
he said,
All right.
"Tell me something that you don't like about my game." He wants to hear these things.
Okay. All right. Is there something you can pick out that you don't like about viticulture?
Oh, that's a tough one. If I'm just going to spout something off on the top of my head, I would say there is a complexity to the game where it is, to me, it is kind of challenging to teach new gamers. I've done it before. They get a little lost in what they're doing. Anybody experienced with gaming is usually going to start picking up on things quick. I don't think it's doing anything too crazy. There's a lot of decisions, but so teaching new gamers, which we've done before, and they did pretty good, but you could tell like they had that glazed over look in their eyes.
Yeah.
And I would say that, and it can run a little long, especially if you're doing a teach and
Oh,
stuff. But it's
He broke the seal. Now he's going. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he got another point.
No, I say those are my main things. I mean, thematically, I think it's. I'm going right back to positive. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Thematically, I think it's delightful. My wife and I, when we were living in California, we actually drove up to Los Olivos, which is near Santa Barbara. It's a big wine area. And we sat at our favorite vineyard outside in beautiful 70-degree weather, set up the game, bought a bottle of wine, and just sat out there surrounded by rolling hills of
Nice.
Do you know how many times I told Robert that's what I want to do with him?
Oh, my God. Well, that's not what you told me you want to do with me, but go ahead.
Okay, not exactly lay out a blanket and have a bottle of wine.
We didn't
with
talk about that. You talked about Grand Central Station.
I need an adult.
But
I need an adult.
show me here where I hurt you.
Yeah, where did he touch you? Yeah.
Yeah, right
No,
here.
but like
right here. You hurt me right here.
the idea of going somewhere to play that themed game.
And
So
we're
for the
gonna do
first
that.
time,
We're gonna
Robert
do
and
that.
I are
Yeah.
going to New Orleans, and we will play Orleans. In New Orleans.
Nolans.
You guys
that's
eating a po'
cool.
boy?
So we're going to take
I'm
some
gonna have me a
pictures.
po' boy.
We're going to have to find somewhere with some kind of typical New Orleans, maybe the French Quarter or something in the background. We'll have to set up a little mini table out there on the street, set up a game of Orleans.
And we'll play Orleans, you and me right there.
Orleans
And you guys
in
gotta
New
play a
Orleans.
vampire game.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Vampire?
I think that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
a cool thing to do.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do a little thing there, so we'll have to post them up. Look for the photos. We'll get them in there.
Yeah, I want to do like Ticket to Ride at Grand Central Station, and I want to go play like
No,
Memoir
you do
44
not.
at the World War II Museum.
You do
and
not
then
want
and then I want to do like
Grand Central Station.
I want to do Battle Cry at a Civil War battlefield, right? Like I want to find games
God, this guy's
that
crazy.
apply to a place, right? And then play there just
All
to
right,
kind of
okay,
be
okay.
immersed in that
I-
theme, like you and your wife
Castles
were.
of Burgundy and Burgundy, France. Yeah,
I want to play Sekigahara and Sekigahara.
There you
Let's
go.
do it,
Do it. Road trip.
right?
Oh yeah.
Carlos doesn't fly, so that's going to be an issue.
Geography is not our thing here.
Yeah, can you take a car
You-
to?
you- the crew in outer space. I mean, come on, guys.
Oh yeah, or the what's the new underwater one?
Somebody call Musk
On the ocean.
We got to do
ocean
this.
floor. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We can do that. We can just pay to have our ashes.
We can do the underwaters version at the beach.
That's what we're underwater. So I said, what are you stopping there for? Let's go to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah.
On that note,
Yeah.
Kyle, Master Jeeves on the Instagrams.
Yep. Check them out.
Thank you for. I mean, listen, folks. If you haven't figured this out yet, I'm writing my journal.
He's got a little journal full. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have to do my video on this, and you guys are giving some great points and talking points for that video. So I really appreciate this crowdsourcing of information.
Absolutely.
He's lying to
That's
y'all.
what we're here for. Yeah.
He's writing. He's got a lot of plus marks in there. Hardly anything else about.
Just a bunch of scribbles.
Yeah.
Dear diary, William was mean to me today.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing's changed.
Have a good night, Kyle. Thanks for calling, man.
Thanks for calling.
All right, you too, buddies.
Bye. Bye.
See ya.
Oh man.
All right, that was the last call of the night. It was we are at the 10 o'clock hour. One of y'all grab the mouse and walk us through these comments. Let's finish them up.
I'm trying to hit the good ones here. So let's see if there's a few here. Wayne Kruger says, always take the extra worker till you develop enough of your own, then go for the VP. So, yeah, that's a good strategy. And I kind of got left behind, so that's why I keep going down to the bottom of the bidding track here. I'm not taking the 6 and the 7, the 6 for the victory points, and then I'm a worker behind these two guys. They got their worker early, so I have to keep taking the, what do they call this last one down here? Oh, I don't know. It just says this for this year. You get the extra worker, whatever he is, the gray worker.
It's like the lieutenant.
Yeah, so you get that last one down there. Let's see. So you, Mitchell says, what is leisure? I don't know what that is.
Okay. He's always working. There's no leisure time.
No leisure time for Mitchell. Sorry, Mitchell. Let's see here. Wayne says, Mitchell, there is
Look
no
at Ron
leisure.
Fraser.
Drinking, talking at your game night, USSR, LOL, all gaming and nothing else. What does Ron say? Ron says,
That's awesome.
I never played Viticulture and never felt compelled to try it. So not up his alley, I guess, but maybe not a fan of worker placement and or the wine theme, I'm guessing. Must be the wine theme that's got him turned off there. But.
So Mitchell, the whole, I'm understanding the point now. The leisure thing for Mitchell is there is no chill or relaxed game. It is in Mother Russia gameplay.
That's what I was saying. You were talking about relaxing. Like Mitchell would disagree because they blast through games. That's how they get
he plays
their 5 or 6 games
win.
in a night. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he plays quick.
I talked to him.
chit-chat.
If y'all listen to the last podcast when we talked about game nights, the guy talks about like he doesn't let his people eat while they're playing.
No.
Like you only eat in between games and you hurry.
Right.
And wait, let's give some people more context. And how does he eat? He inhales his food.
And look how many games he gets in. I've got to admire that. I got to admire that. I got to tell you, it's if you're there to game, you're there to game, not eat and chit chat. So anyway, let's see. Raphael says, let's play Viticulture instead of Arnak after the show. I don't know. That could be open for debate, but we're in the middle of a game now. But yeah. Raphael says, has anyone tried this solo? I've never played it solo.
I went to go try it solo, and then I saw that I could buy the digital version for $11 with the discount.
Yeah,
and I said, you know what? I'll just play the digital version.
Yeah. Then Mitchell says his wife loves the solo variant. I was to mention to Carlos before the show that Tom Vassell was talking about the Automa system that's used in Stonemaier games that he's not a fan. He says you're basically just flipping a card and it tells you to run some other person's turn. He's just not a fan of having to run another whole turn for somebody.
Yeah, Mitchell, I believe your wife called in before to talk about how she enjoys some of the solo games.
Yeah.
So that must be one of the ones that's got her into it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Wayne Kruger says even the Puritans would have had their kids drink beer or wine on the Mayflower.
Rob, you being from the Virginia area, you would know that.
Yeah.
They play
just drink all the time.
Pick that Mitchell one right there.
Mitchell, next one?
No, one more now.
Mitchell says,
that one.
So it just sounds like Carlos's brain just isn't big enough to remember the Tuscany mechanics.
Listen, as you know, I will not disagree with that. Like I know my limits and my levels and what's enjoyable, and I'm not afraid to
Mitchell
say it.
is on. Dang, he's hitting this thing hard for you. That's great.
Exodus.
Second Exodus.
Okay, is that IUS is Exodus? Okay. I completely agree. I only ever won my first game by doing the cheese and star locations. So, yeah, that talks about that
the sideboard and cheese only?
Yeah, and so I haven't played the cheese yet, so I don't know. So maybe that's a big thing when you play with that one. But yeah, that sideboard, you can make or break the game by that area control game that goes on down there.
But that's only if people let you. Like if nobody goes in there to take it from you, you can take total control.
Well, we're not going to go all the way to. They're not going to fly all the way to France to play Orleans. So New Orleans is the best they're going to get.
Oh, yeah, that was the next one. I was just real quick. It says, Rob already needs a sippy cup. Don't add sleeves. But, yeah, we don't need sleeves on the table to knock stuff around. But, and the Mitchell says, Orléans is a city in France, though New Orleans is different. It is. But, come on. Orléans in New Orleans.
Geography is not our thing. I'll say it again.
Nolans.
Nolans. I got Nolans.
Yeah, Nolans. What is this here? Wayne says, Big Easy busking would be more thematic.
Not familiar with that one,
I'm
Wayne.
not sure what busking
I've
is.
seen your collection, though. You sent some pictures in the Discord.
Yeah.
So you got a lot more variety, bro.
Yeah, Raph chimes in there, play a space game in space. So, yeah, that was what we were talking about. Or bottom of the ocean. I know, I'm an ocean guy. I got 3 fish tanks at home. I'll take the bottom of the ocean here. But
I'll laminate the cards. We'll make it happen.
Mitchell says we'll send a bill in the mail for you for our consultation fees on the video. So Jamie, anything you get now, Mitchell and the rest of the group gets an 18th of it. So you got to split it all up.
All
right?
the ideas.
Yeah, all the any incoming swag.
And then my fees to y'all for helping me write this thing.
Exactly. 2 more here. Let's see. Wayne says the World War II Museum in Nolans is fantastic, and Pesh seafood near there is amazing. Okay, Pesh.
Okay, write that one down, Robert Pesh.
Pesh.
You have the notebook right there.
Yeah, you got a notebook.
What are you
Tell me to
talking
write it
about,
down.
man? What's wrong with you?
I'm going to make a mental note right here.
I'm gonna write with the mouse. Dear diary, Carlos has lost his effing mind.
And Mitchell says, Big Easy busking is a New Orleans game. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get our hands on a copy of that. Maybe we can play that, too, in New Orleans and take a
You can
photo.
play a couple war games. When I went to go to the Gen Con, there is that museum. There was a war museum, just a regular Civil War, World War I, World War II, because of all the people from Indiana who've volunteered for different wars throughout.
Did they have games set up there?
No, but talking about you can go to the park right there in the middle of the park if you want to sit there.
Yeah.
You can play a lot of stuff. You can play. So if you want to actually get that kind of experience, you can do that if you ever go to Gen Con too, because it's only like a mile walk.
Well, the reason I'm thinking Memoir 44 is because there is a opening scenario. One of the scenarios in Memoir 44 has to do with the landing crafts, right? And the museum in New Orleans is really specific to the landing craft construction that happened in New Orleans.
Like the beach invasions?
The guy who invented the landing craft is from New Orleans. He was a swamp boat, right? So all those LCTs and LSTs that were dropped off, that's because of the Higgins boats. Higgins was from Louisiana. He hired all the people in Louisiana to make these boats. If it wasn't for these boats, we wouldn't have won the war. That's why I want to play Memoir 44 at this museum in New Orleans.
You want that picture in the background? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Like this LCT, won the war for us. And here we are playing a game honoring the history of this.
That you're going to be losing, so that's kind of.
It does have dice though, and you suck at dice games.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, anything with dice.
And he sucks at dice games that are Richard Borg.
And anyway, folks, so we're 12 minutes past the hour. So
thank you all for your attention and your willingness to call in and chat with us.
Yeah, like the channel, thumbs up, tell your friends about us.
Yes,
let them know what we're doing. If you like it, keep supporting. We appreciate all the participation. We had a lot of calls this week. When you call in, it makes this easy on us. We're not here to make it easy on us, but that's what the show's all about here. Is making this fun, making the time fly by. So another hour and 12 minutes in the books.
What's coming up, Robert? Let's see. We got the 19th is going to be our game day at your turn
in Tampa.
I won't be there.
Zephyr Hills.
You will not be there, William?
Tampa area.
Nope.
Okay.
Because you guys switched. I made plans.
Oh,
you guys switched it. I'm like, really? Okay.
Well,
Valentine's.
We set it up for second Saturday, but apparently that's Super Bowl weekend and Valentine's Day weekend, so everybody shot it down. We moved it to the 19th. So 19th of
Sports
February.
For nerds.
Sports ball.
Yes.
Yeah. So at Your Turn Cafe, Zephyr Hills.
Yep.
And then what's after that? We're going to New Orleans, but that's still about a month
Spring
out.
break.
Yeah, spring break. So that's about a month from now. So we'll have to figure out what we're doing as far as the Thursday show. Hopefully you're going to come down Wednesday and we'll be able to do the Thursday show from there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Do it live.
Yeah.
From the mobile setup. If y'all notice, I did a video live from Armada Games with my cell phone.
Oh.
Interviewing with Barry and Chris.
Haven't seen it. No. Yeah.
And it worked real smooth.
It was you didn't see because it was
Blood Bowl.
It was Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl. Yeah,
I saw it because what's he talking about?
But really, I mainly wanted to do it because I wanted to test out the cellular system again.
5 minutes into it, I almost crashed the car because I fell asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. So we will have the ability to do it live and keep doing the show like we've done every week. So we will see y'all.
We have to chime in here. Jamie Stegmeyer just sent a message in the chat. Just happened to check YouTube to see you all talking about viticulture. I'm late, but hope you had a good show tonight. Slightly smiling face.
Yeah. We would open the phone line for him any day.
Well,
Oh, is that what you're gonna do?
well,
No, he's
yeah,
probably
we gotta-
busy.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
okay.
We'll
And
wrap it
I
up.
have to go to
it's
bed.
10:15, yeah.
I gotta go
You can
work.
go to bed, but if
I
he
gotta go
calls, I'll
work.
be here. So that's us. That's what we're doing. Wayne says the pizza in the frame made me hungry. Carlos, pizza.
I don't know where there's pizza. Did you have pizza somewhere?
I'm at a loss. Wayne, are you drinking wine, Wayne? All right, that's it for the comments. Wayne is a bit out of it,
I think he's just making us look around the house.
and I guess that will do it for us tonight, folks. We want to thank you, everyone, for chiming in. Jamie, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, we really appreciate you, and thank you for sending this game to us.
Where's the pizza?
Oh, the video of the Blood Bowl video. Chris Nelson
Yes, there's a box of-
devoured a whole box of pizza during that interview.
Oh, okay.
Solo. Solo
Didn't see that.
Why
devoured
do the
it.
skinny guys get to eat like that?
And now I get it. All right, folks. Well, y'all have a good night. Thanks for calling the Beans and Dice podcast. Thanks for watching. We will catch you all next week.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
He's reading over that coconut.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.